and welcome to our channel. Okay, I'm still kind of recovering from the flu, so that's why I'm going to make a nice, gory, juicy food wound. So if you cannot handle fake blood, I'm sorry. And if you can, just keep watching. So I am cleaning my skin with a lotion wipe, and then I'm going to use a alcohol pad to remove the skin oil so my adhesive will stick better to it. I'm going to mark out with a lip pencil where I am going to make the wound. Roughly, I think that's a good place. Yep. Then I lay down a thin layer of mastics from Meron. Normally I use Prosate, but you know, I ran out of Prosate, so this is the best next thing for me. I'm going to use the Sin Wax from Meron and a little bit of the red from the Bruise Wheel, and I'll fold it into my wax to pre-color it. Saves a bit of time. After the glue is tacky, I will place the wax onto my foot. And of course, I use some Vaseline on my fingers and the tools so the wax doesn't stick to it. Makes it easier to work with. I blend it roughly into my skin. Doesn't have to be neat because this is going to be the wound base. So you get something like this. Then I lay down another layer of mastics. And now we are going to create the wound edge. So again, I roll the sausage and place this one around the red. Like this. Hopla. And of course, I'm going to blend it into my skin. This time I am going to hide the edges as best as I can and as smoothly as I can. I did this look a couple years back. I think it was in 2015. I did it for a photo tutorial, and since then I got many requests to recreate it one more time, only with moving images. So here it is. Only this one is a bit more extreme than the original one. But you know, you learn stuff. Like that. And again, I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side, just blending it. And then I tried something new. I take my wax and I use a little bit of the yellow from the Bruise Wheel and mixed it, and I make these little blobs of fatty tissue. I still think it looks like corn, but it gave a nice result in the end, and I think that's what counts. So I place it on some random spots. And then I'm gonna rough up the wound base some more. So what is the story behind this look? How did I get this injury? Well, I guess wearing flip-flops and using a pallettruck and not being careful, and voila, you got this nice laceration on the side of your foot. That's gotta hurt, and this is of course totally fictional. I use my setting powder from Meron to remove the shine, and then I'm gonna use some fixative A from Meron to kind of make the wax a bit more sealed in. I use in total two or three thin layers of this stuff. It still stays fragile, but this fixative helps a bit. So I take my Anchor blood palette and my Titanic Effects brush, the 109, that's the stipple brush, to create some severe bruising. I'm just using thin washes of blues and purples, a little bit of red, to create the bruising. My light is extremely bright, so you can't really see it too much, but in real life it looks really bruised. So I'm gradually building up the wound. Then I'm going to make some detailing, and I'm going to use several brushes from Titanic, and I always end up with using one. So I lay down a little bit of black and brown on the edges and the deep points of the wound. And then I'm going to start with the reds to fill in the rest. Just again thin washes. To make the fatty tissue a little bit less corn. looking like something. Okay, get a grip. So you're building it up. And I'm gonna stipple some aged blood color with a stipple brush on the wound edge. Oh, what is that? Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm going to add some blood. I'm going to use several products from makeup. Let me show you the wound filler I'm going to use, and the blood gel too, dark. Nice and gloopy blood. In real life it's a bit redder than what you see in the jar. And my favorite one is the light one. It's almost empty, as you can see. This one looks a bit like you know, what you put on a sandwich, but I love using that. So I use a mixture of different kinds of gels. Just using a little bit of wound filler and a little bit of gel. Just moving it around, and then of course the blood. My favorite blood is at this moment is aged blood from Mold Life, and I use the Vermilions blood a lot, but this time I use aged blood. So just squirting in a bit of blood and moving it around with an old brush to make it nice and juicy, and the corn starts to look like fatty tissue. You can also use I don't know, a smashed banana, but I decided to try something new, and I think it came out nice. So moving the blood around, using a baby wipe to remove some of the blood, because I didn't want it to ruin the sculpting I did. So here we have it, and there you have it. So see you guys next time, same place, well, somewhat same time, with a new look. Bye.